Hello and welcome to Crypto News today, Monday the 22nd of June, 2026. The top crypto news is as follows. Before we start today's episode, I wish everyone a great week. Moving on to our news, we will now look at our ETFs. As I suspect you might have guessed, Bitcoin ETFs have lost $6.4 billion over the last 30 days, with all that money most likely flowing into well-known ICOs. Moving forward, I want to take us over to Polymarket. I want to point out that when an influencer shows themselves placing money on Polymarket, it does not mean they actually succeeded. I say this because Polymarket appears, according to reports from the Wall Street Journal, to be paying dozens of social media creators on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and so on to film themselves placing fake bets, and sometimes pretending to win on copied mirror sites. In other words, they took Polymarket, copied it, and used it to place bets that they, of course, 1. The Wall Street Journal reviewed 1,105 videos from 10 creators published between December 2025 and May. A bet appeared in approximately 70% of the videos, and none of the bets, totaling $1.9 million in value, were real. So be careful with Polymarket. The odds are against you. And as I said, just because an influencer appears to be winning does not mean they actually are. First, turning to miners and AI, let us see how well Bitcoin mining actually aligns with AI. To start, Bitcoin mining companies are emerging as an important part of the artificial intelligence infrastructure supply chain because they control large amounts of power capacity and data center real estate, which are becoming increasingly difficult to secure, something we already knew. And publicly listed Bitcoin mining companies control more than 27 gigawatts of deployed power and have announced deals worth over $90 billion related to artificial intelligence, covering 3.7 gigawatts with further expansion planned for. Now, I want to tell you that, as you know from everyday experience, the AI sector changes as dramatically as night and day within 6 months, always for the better, with systems evolving ever further and making models from 6 months ago look like ancient relics. And as you can understand, this requires enormous amounts of energy to run the newer models. The average waiting time for someone to secure even a single gigawatt of power is approximately 50 months across all states, even the most friendly ones like Texas. So as I said, if the AI sector transforms as dramatically as night and day every 6 months, you can understand that 50 months is catastrophic when it comes to finding the energy needed to power newer systems. And this is one of the main reasons I believe many AI companies have turned to Bitcoin miners so they can essentially redirect their energy away from Bitcoin mining and toward their own systems. And this will obviously have consequences for mining as Bitcoin mining difficulty drops by more than 10% for the 11th time. This is not as alarming as it sounds because Bitcoin throughout its history, as you can see, has consistently experienced drops in its hash rate. At this time, the drop is 10.09%, and crypto news outlets largely attribute it to the shift miners are making, moving their energy from mining to AI. In previous years, the reasons were obviously different. Regarding AI now, as I told you, day by day and week by week, their systems are becoming more and more powerful. We will also look at Anthropic, which says it has completed the training of a model more powerful than Mythos. Now, Mythos as a model has been restricted to everyone except citizens of the United States. Nevertheless, this does not stop Anthropic from advancing its own systems. I want to tell you that the director of the National Security Agency in America says that Mythos breached almost all of their classified systems within a matter of hours. People at Anthropic are working with the agency's engineers to secure their systems. And this breach of the systems did not happen without authorized permission. It was essentially carried out through an exercise to allow the agency to see just how capable the model actually is, which, as I already told you, breached all their systems within a matter of hours. So imagine what this system could do in the crypto market, something that crypto news outlets had warned about 2 months ago. We are not very far from when I was saying those things. Moving on to our beloved crypto market, we will see that Bitcoin is sitting at $64,000. We are holding our support level. However, things in Asia are concerning for a number of reasons. To start, the President of the United States is threatening to strike Iran very hard if it does not immediately stop what it is doing in Lebanon through its own proxies. At the same time, Trump told Iranian negotiators that he said they would take over Iran if it closes the Strait of Hormuz. And he reportedly said, "You will not even have time to get back to your fucking country." This resulted in the face of the Pakistani Prime Minister when he essentially learned that the Iranian delegation was withdrawing following Trump's threats as an expression of protest against everything that was said. So, if they manage to reach any kind of agreement after all of this, I will simply wonder how. That wraps up the top news for crypto today, Monday the 22nd of June 2026. I'd like to remind you that the content you just watched is created for educational purposes only and should not be considered as investment advice, but rather as investment opinion. Please subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and feel free to comment. Take care, everyone, and have a good day.